see, I'm gonna pick this up. I have a lot of cardboard here waiting for you to be used. I have also my glue guns, and it has kids and it says art room on it. I have 2 of those. I also have these amazing gloves that you're gonna wear on one hand. So you're gluing with this one, and you're gonna wear your gloves with this side so you can hold your project. Now, this is so you won't get burned. You know, sometimes we need to be using this with caution, but we can use our glove so we won't get burned in case an accident happens. Now, this has high temperature and low temperature, as you can see right there. We're gonna always keep it on the low temperature, okay? The low temperature is for you guys to use, okay? We got some glue sticks right here, and these you put obviously in here. Then we have I made this attachment board so you can see different types of attachment. Down here we have some containers that you could be made into a home. This right here was a box that was made by a student, and it's covered in construction paper. There's tape. Inside he made some little ghosts that belong in the house, in the building. We have more cardboard, all this stuff, all this material that can be used to create something by cutting it up with scissors, putting it together, making 3D sculptures with it. You can find some foam that also can be used for that. It's right here. And some of the cardboard is thinner than other. So just be careful. Even if we use this cardboard that I have here, you can use it with your hands. Take it off and have some nice texture in the cardboard itself. And you can use that as something else. So you can take this apart with your hands, okay, and find some nice texture that we have. I don't know if you can see it in there, okay? Now you can leave it that way, or you can leave it this way, or you can take away a layer and find some nice good texture on it. So I'm gonna let you see this attachment section, and again, this is for you to use. Now remember to use your glue guns correctly. Always be careful with your glue guns. Never play around with glue guns. Wear your safety gloves if necessary, and be creative. Be very creative with your cardboard design. When you're doing my assessment on the pre-draw, make sure you understand it's a 3D shape. So it's got different sides. It's only got one side. It's got 3 sides or 4 sides or 2 sides. So it all depends on what you make. But make sure you understand it's not flat. You can layer things on top of each other and make the 3D shape, so you can layer it. I know last year we did, one of my students did cardboard pancakes, and it looked beautiful. The other one did a burger that's layered, and all it was is cardboard, but she colored it and painted it with, you know, the lettuce. So she shaped it up as a lettuce, and and then she painted it green. And then the tomato, she shaped the cardboard into a tomato, became the tomato with red. You know, she added her colors, her red. So be creative of what you want to do with that design. So how to use a glue gun, okay? It's gonna be plugged in. It's gonna be ready to go. Here's an attachment here that when you put it down on the table, it's gonna stand it up, okay? I'm gonna have a cardboard underneath, so in case it spills down, it'll just go on the cardboard down on the table. Make sure that you do have some mats. This mat right here, and this mat is going to, you make sure you put your project here so you don't get my table dirty. So anyways, so you just push this button, okay, and the glue, this attachment here pushes the glue stick in, and it squirts out this way. So make sure you just, if it's not squeezing right, that means it's not ready and it's not hot enough to do. So just make sure you just wait a little bit longer so you'll know when it comes out. When you press it, the glue does come out. Okay, so it's like any kind of glue, but it dries really fast. So make sure that you understand how fast this dries. You can create things from homes to buildings to trees, any kind of animal, 3D animal. You can make things stand up because this will attach really quick. Okay, again, if you don't really know how to use it, just talk to me and I'll get to work with you with this. So when you gonna use this, okay, you're gonna put glue just like you regularly do. Sometimes you're gonna need help from your friends, but you might not. I always pre-cut my pieces so it can be ready to go right there. So here are my pieces. So here are my materials. If I don't want to use a glue gun, I will be using tape, masking tape, and my glue ice, you know, almost in an instant. So I pre-cut my tape so I can have it ready. I know I might need a friend, but right now I don't have a friend, so I'm gonna do it on my own. But you might want to have somebody help you. So just like any glue, we put it where we're gonna need to glue it, okay? So we're gonna do that. Now here's where you add your tape, okay? Because you wanna hold it, you're gonna have to know and construct, and it will stay, but it will take 2 or 3 days or a day to hold. So see how I tape it, but then I have the glue on there, okay? So I can even put some more glue in here just in case, okay? And just keep it there. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Put glue, put the glue. Sorry, I'm trying really hard to get this on camera. And then now we're gonna make sure it's even. Sometimes we cut our pieces kind of crooked, so it's not gonna stay if it's not even. So just make sure you cut these pieces correctly. So I have my pre-cut tape. Again, I'm gonna put it down. And you might need a friend to do this. It's kind of hard, as you can see, but it is possible. You can have your friend hold one side while you tape it, okay? I'll put a little bit more tape on here. Tape glue, okay? Now I can put this up here. Put some glue on here as well. And attach it where I put the glue. And use the rest of my strips that I cut don't have to tighten that tape. Don't tighten that tape. All you're gonna do is to hold it. I don't even need 2 tapes. See, I just need 1 tape. We're not gonna be wasteful on it, but just make sure you better double check that it is touching each other on here, because if it's not touching each other and there's no point in putting it together, because when you take the tape it's going to fall off because it's not attached to each other. So just make sure you attach it and it's attached to each other. Put a little bit more glue, not too much. And again, don't tighten up the tape, because when you want to take it off, you want to make sure the tape comes off and not stick to your project. So here is my triangle. Okay, and what kind of cardboards do we have? So we have different thickness of cardboard. We have the very thin one. I like these because, you know, when you like Nutri-Grain and cereal boxes, they have this kind of cardboard, which are very easy for students to cut with scissors. So it's very easy to cut and build at the same time. Paint, cover with construction paper, cover with other things, or just color it on its own because it's a white surface, and in the back as well. So that's easy. And then we have a little thicker cardboard, as you can see. You kind of still can cut it, but it kind of gets a little bit harder and harder, and you gotta have a lot of strength to do it, or not a lot, but you gotta have some. And you have your Exacto knife. This is used for like your thicker cardboard, as you can see, compared to what I have. Let me grab this. There goes my Exacto knife again. Okay, and this. So as you can see, they're very, very different on the thickness. And this one, it is very hard to cut with you need to use all your might. So I suggest using my Exacto knife. Now my Exacto knife, you have to be very careful when you're cutting from the Exacto knife. So you press in, and I suggest always have your Exacto knife or your board on top. But if you're gonna cut, you have to hold your cardboard very tight and then press on your, kind of like a pencil, press on your Exacto knife, just like this. Now you might have to do it several times in order to cut it through because it could be thick, okay? But make sure you cut all the way through, and then you're able to kind of like pop it, okay? And if you need to do the back, you just go back with your Exacto knife where you had it, and then finish it off, okay? Now, I need for you to put something underneath your cardboard that you're cutting. So maybe another piece of cardboard, just so it won't go through to my table, and I don't want no scratches on the table. So I suggest you putting something under your cardboard you're gonna cut. Always cut away from yourself. Don't cut, towards yourself. Kind of like towards the side, not towards you like this, okay? Towards the side. And you're cutting, make sure it's far away from you. You don't want to, it's slipping and it slips and it kind of hurts you, or gives you a little cut. So again, you can go first cut, okay, so we're gonna cut the top, and sometimes it goes all the way through. If not, turn it around and finish cutting the piece, because this might be a little thick. So there you got your pieces. Now if you can remove this piece if you're done, and if you want to do a triangle or something other than that, you do that, okay? And again, if it doesn't cut through, guess what you have to do, okay? Now sometimes a blade, because it's so the cardboard is thick, sometimes the blade comes off. Just make sure you tighten it up, okay? It unscrews this way, so I can remove the blade, which we should not do. And then we need to make sure it's tight enough, okay? So then we use a blade to cut this. Now, I need to make sure I can trust you with the blade, and make sure you're using it accordingly and properly. So make sure you use this properly. This can hurt someone, and it's very sharp, so we need to make sure we can do this on our own. Again, cut pieces. You can turn it around so you can cut the other side if it doesn't cut through enough, because this is thick cardboard. Okay, if you do not want to do thick cardboard and you don't want to use the Exacto knife, then get this kind of material cardboard where it's cereal and you can easily cut with scissors, okay? And if we cannot work with Exacto knives or thick cardboard, then I will have you work with this very thin cardboard, or the little thicker cardboard that you can manipulate with scissors as well, okay? And here you build.